Good morning, Donaldson Bottom Lake. How's that for a result? Early hours this morning, middle rod rattled away with this angry little common. Wiped out all 3 of my rods, believe it or not. So it was a bit of a palaver trying to get this onto the bank. But we got it. First one for the session. Well happy with this. Hopefully we can get some more. But with this venue, you never know what can slip up. So fingers crossed, rod's back on the spot, and hopefully we have something special to show you.
I don't know what to start. Okay. So we find ourselves back here at Donaldson Bottom Lake. Alex decided to come back over again, obviously spend time with the family over the Christmas and festive season. We just managed to squeeze in 2 sessions. We had a really good session just the other day.
Yep, just before Christmas.
Yeah, 8 runs, landed 6 fish, so we thought we would come and do the same thing yet again. And yeah, what a spin of events we've had.
Yeah, no, we had 1 fish last night, early hours, absolute manic battle. I must add that we had a massive storm come through yesterday afternoon. I mean, we've had our fair share of storms here, but that's got to be one of the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, the wind was incredible. The waves on the water were next level. We should have taken out the surfboard. We could have definitely surfed some of those waves.
Yeah, worst of all, it wasn't even predicted.
No,
we obviously
wasn't.
checked the weather.
Yeah.
Do we pack in gazebos? Do we prepare like that? And nothing was. There was absolutely nothing
on the weather radar. But it is what it is. I guess this is all part of the experience. But yeah, had a nice result early hours last night. Manic battle, wiped out all 3 of my rods. The problem here at Donaldson, when there's a lot of wind, a lot of the plastics on the bottom move with the wind, and obviously when I was bringing that fish in, it caught one of the back leads.
Yeah.
That caught the other rod, then the fish decided to kite the opposite direction and caught the other one. So yeah, it was a palaver. That's the easiest way to say it. Palaver of note.
There isn't the other way to put it.
Yeah, especially when it's the first fish for the session. You want to land the first one. But yeah, main thing, we got it in the net. Beautiful, typical Donnie's character. Sure, it's got a lot of stories to tell, that fish.
Little thing on the side, the saw that's healed, scale displacement.
Yeah. And yeah, we find ourselves here. We got 1 more night. Hopefully we get a few runs tonight, and as we always say, there's always a chance of something special here. You know,
But you're saying that also about something special. You know, every time we chat about you coming back to SA and stuff, you always want to come back here.
Yeah.
So like, just put people in perspective with the reasoning why this is why you always want to come back here.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I would have loved to change earlier, you know, go back maybe 10 years ago, was I obviously wasn't living in South Africa. I was in America at the time, and you know, I would only come back once or twice a year, so we would do an odd session every now and then. Then the real taste for Donnie was that amazing session we had. I still remember it so clearly. Something like 5 or 6 40s in the session. I picked up my first PB. We've got a little bleep on the right-hander. Hopefully that screams off, because it's always nice to get that on camera. But yeah, having seen some of those 18 fish in here really created a buzz for me. And like I say, whenever I come back to South Africa, I always want to try and get some time here. And I know it's not the the most ideal times of year, but you know what's swimming in here, and to even catch one of them to add to the album is an absolute, you know, buzz, and why we do this.
Exactly, yeah. Now, any time one of them could slip up.
Yeah. So I mean, that's one of the main reasons why I love coming back, because I mean, we saw last year I was lucky enough to get my first 40 from here, and that was a very special session. So hopefully we can replicate it, and something special comes to the bank. And even if it's not for me, it's one of us. For me, that's what it's all about. It's the buzz. It's, you know, seeing your mate happy with netting a big fish. There's nothing more special than that, you know.
And I think also the fact that you don't have this back there.
No,
it's literally fishing alone.
Very different. I like to compare fishing in the UK as it's your time. It's more selfish, if I can use that term. You know, you've got designated swims where you're not typically allowed to leave your rod, so you can't go off and sit in your mate's swim next door, because, you know, rules at syndicates are very strict, and for the right reasons. There's special fish in there, and you got to, you know, fish welfare is the most important. So it's a lot more individual fishing, if you want to call it that, where here, you know, you've got the car behind the bivvy, you've got the inflatable boat, we're going out, we're dropping lines, we're helping each other, you know, big social element to this, and I miss that quite a lot when I'm that side. But that being said, it's also nice when I'm there, because you can really hone in on your angling and really focus and focus on every little detail. So that's probably one of the biggest differences between the syndicates there and obviously this.
And the lake you're fishing now is obviously intimate. I mean, you sent me those videos of you standing on the edge, seeing your target fish literally right in front of you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something else compared to this. You're never going to see this here.
Definitely. I mean, so I'm at Carthagena Brook Lake, and there's a specific fish that I'm after. One of the most recognizable commons in the whole of the UK. It's called bullnose, and it's typically, you know, low to mid 50s.
Sure.
I was actually fortunate enough to see it on the bank. I think it was September last year, and that just gave me even more of a drive
to see your target fishing.
And, you know, I did an autumn campaign on the syndicate, and, you know, I came face to face with it, literally in front of me in the margin, and the feeling of excitement and adrenaline that goes through your body when you see your target fish is something else. I think the only thing that will beat it is netting it.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
But hopefully that's gonna come soon. But if it doesn't, you know, I'll keep at it till it happens.
But you're definitely putting in the time, so it's a matter of time before it does happen.
Definitely.
And then, like, so we're saying, like, the social aspect, like, yeah, everyone's here. I mean, you and I have been on video calls before, like mornings I know you're fishing, where you've actually had takes. I would watch the fight obviously through the phone, and then you'd send me a good video of the result, fish in the net, you know, results for the session, which is pretty cool. You know, it's not the same, but it's still pretty cool though.
It is still nice. I mean, the fact that you can still share the buzz with close mates, that's important, and I think that's a big part of fishing. You wanna celebrate your friends' achievements, you know, even if it's on the other side of the world. And when I do net that big fish, you'll be one of the very first to get a video call, that's for sure. So you better make sure that phone's not on silent.
I'll be ready for that.
But yeah, no, we've had a few calls in the morning where you've given me a video call, and we're having a conversation, and one of the rods ramps off. So yeah, I think you need to keep phoning me more, and hopefully that continues.
Maybe I'm the lucky bit
the lucky charm. No, definitely. But it's different. I mean, like I said, it's a lot more intimate. You know, we don't use any form of technology. They don't allow it. So no bait boats, no inflatables, no deepers, just old school angling, casting, lead, spom, marker float, and you know, it's that element of putting the pieces together, really getting into grips with the lake, becoming one with the lake, understanding what are the fish doing, you know, staying up late, trying to track them down and moving on them in the morning if you can, and yeah, it's just completely different style of angling. Where here you have to book a swim, and
It is
you've
what
got
it is.
water in front of you, and you've got to make do with what's in front of you. And sometimes, like this session, we've had some immense weather come through, and the wind has been hacking down here. We thought the fish would be here in numbers. I've still got a feeling that they are, but hopefully there's a feeding response in them, and we get into a few fish.
Yeah, so as soon as the weather settles, the wind settles, we'll definitely be putting out some fresh rigs for the night,
Yep.
top up the swim, and then hopefully we'll get a result.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. But hopefully one of these coming months, or later this year, you'll be coming to the UK, and
Yeah.
I'll show you some of that angling, because I think that will also be good for you to experience, and see where carp fishing originated.
Yeah,
because-
how it started and what it's truly like on the other
Yeah.
side of the world.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, fingers crossed. Hopefully, we'll have something special to show the camera. But if not, it's always amazing to be here. We've got a few friends here. We've got Anthony, Adrian, Lee. We've got always good food, good laughs, stories about your time at Top Lake
Yeah, those
with some of
don't
those
get
special
old.
fish, which you definitely need to speak more about at some point.
We'll definitely do
Um,
that, Joe.
But yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully we get big fish in the net, and you'll definitely hear Labosh. Get in there. Morning. This is the result from early hours this morning. Insane battle. Wiped out the two other rods as well. Anthony managed to land two as well, and unfortunately Brandon lost one. The conditions are incredible at the moment. You would never think it's summer. We are all layered up from head to toe. Hoodies are on. I'm actually quite cold holding this fish right now, but listen, always an amazing time coming here. These fish are really, really special, and the yearly annual trip to Donaldson Dam will always keep going for as long as I come back. We're going to get this one back and I'll show you the rig that we used to catch this beauty. Alright, so for the business end, and the rig that caught me both fish on the session is the spinner rig. I'm not going to go into too much detail about how to tie it, but there's a few things that I want to touch on about the specific setup. So as you can see, using a 7-ounce lead from SA Specimen Leads. Big shout out to them for sorting us out for this session. We're fishing at distance. I'm fishing in silt. I want something that I know is going to help me hook carp, and this is definitely the selection for that. So in terms of the rig end, I'm using a size 4 crank. Love the hook, been using it for over a year now. It's got a bit of an offset to it, and I feel the carp really struggle to get rid of it. Coupled with a big lead, you're going to hook whatever picks up your hook bait. I'm using a Cell Hard hooker as a bottom bait, topped off with a orange pop-up. So in terms of the hook link material, I'm using 25-pound boom, and it's crimped on either end to a hybrid lead clip. So easy. All I need to do after every fish, change the hook, and I'm ready to go fishing again. No need to tie a new rig from scratch. It's about that convenience. Here at Donaldson, there is times when you can get into a hit of fish and you want to get that rig out as quick as possible. So this is the business end. It's done what we always wanted to do, catch fish, and we'll see you next time. Cheers. Lavash.